Hi everyone, I'm Sanjana and I have Shri with me today. Shri, thank you so much for joining me. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Sanjana, for bringing me here. I've been a follower of your posts and your blog for quite some time, so very excited and happy to be here.
That's lovely to hear. Thank you so much for following my work. And today, let's talk to Shri about account de-anonymization and how this data is being used by marketers. I know it sounds a little technical, but Shri is here to break down all the details you should know about account de-anonymization, and he's going to make it simple for us. So before we get started, just to introduce Shri, he is currently the co-founder and CEO of Factors.ai. If you've not heard of Factors.ai, it's an end-to-end B2B marketing analytics and revenue attribution platform. So this platform will decode customer behavior and determine marketing's influence on pipeline and revenue. So it's a must-have tool for all the marketers out there. So you should definitely check out Factors.ai. And let's get into our topic. And before we start, Shri, can you tell us a little bit about your background? Like, where did you start your career and where are you now?
Sure. I'll start with a little more earlier. As schooling in Chennai, born and brought up in Chennai, and then college in Bangalore. Then after that, a couple of years in tech back in Chennai in Cognizant. And then I was in IIM Calcutta. And at IIM Calcutta, it was a pretty interesting journey. I started with the banking side of the career, investment banking side, but I did fall in love with marketing around that some time, and I started working in an FMCG company. So this is way back in 2009. I started with Dabur India Limited. My first sales stints were in southern in Andhra, Kurnool area, and then after that I became an area sales manager in Orissa, and after that I was also part of the brand team of Odomos, so which is kind of a pretty popular mosquito repellent product and other thing. That's why I learned the basics of marketing and also good amount of FMCG consumer-led sales. Then came back to Bangalore with another bank, investment banking. I was doing some early stage Series A startups and funding them and other things. That's what I was doing. Delivery was one of the companies that I worked with, apart from quite a few healthcare and other pharmaceutical companies which I worked with. And after that is when the startup bug bit me. So I was like, if I'm working anywhere, the best place to actually get a lot of exposure and also a good career journey in terms of learning and also growth made sense only with the startup. One of the big startups at that point in time was InMobi, which was just one of the first unicorns in India at that point in time. So I started with InMobi, and that introduced me to the world of digital marketing at an overall level, but more specifically mobile marketing, DSPs, exchanges, also bidding on channels like Google, Snap, Apple search ads and other thing. And I spent close to 7 years there. I was part of the exec team. And after that, I co-founded Factors.ai with two of my other friends. So Praveen, Aravind, and myself are the three co-founders at Factors.ai. Praveen and I spent almost the same amount of time at InMobi. 7 years together, we overlapped. Praveen was part of the product team there, while Aravind was my college classmate. He was at Google, and after Google, he sold his first startup, Chattimity, to Freshworks. That became one of the first versions of FreshChat. And after a couple of years at Freshworks, he moved out and started working, founded Factors.ai, and we all got together. And it's been a 2.5-year journey. And what we live, breathe, and build on is like, for B2B marketers, ability to understand the influence of marketing or any marketing. It can be events, it can be webinars, it can be content, it can be campaigns, it can be ads, etc. How does that impact pipeline and revenue? Because marketing fundamentally influences revenue across the board, more so in these days compared to earlier day where there was a very clear separation between sales and marketing. Now there is a very clear intertwining where like there is some top of the funnel activity or some initial marketing activity before for any sales activity to start with and other thing. But how does it influence? What is the customer buying journey? What are the inflection points in the customer buying journey? Are pretty hard problems, and that's something, and also very necessary problems for people to understand, so that where they want to invest and how they want to develop, and that's where we come in. So that's kind of a 3-4 minute super fast overview of what we are doing. So that's where it is.
Yeah, that sounds like an amazing journey that you got there. So thank you for sharing that with us. And as you rightly pointed out, I think that's a like the most common challenge that's faced by all the marketers around the world. So yeah, let's talk more about that. But I'm sure all the marketers listening to this video right now might want to know, what is account de-anonymization? So can we start with that?
Of course. Account de-anonymization is a little complex term. Just to break it down a little more simply, website visitor identification. As simple as that. So you have, let's take any website, any B2B website. So we are talking B2B, and B2B is any company selling to other buyers, company level buyers and account level buyers. So it's fundamental for any B2B is having account-based marketing, or account level understanding of what is the user coming from, which accounts they target, how do they come into your website, and what do they do after that. In this thing, there is this unique ability for in B2B where like you can identify which accounts are coming. So let's say you have 100 visitors on your website, 1 or 2 of them sign up. Remaining 98 of them, where do they come from? Which accounts they come from, etc. is always a prospect. And what do they do within the website is always there, because it's like, of the only 2 people sign up, remaining there'll be at least 10 or 20 or 50 of them who would be showing interest on your page in terms of going to your pricing page, spending time on your blog, spending time on your case studies, looking at your investors page, etc. They're all prospects who are kind of learning about your product in some form, and identifying who they are has a lot of value for B2B marketing teams and sales teams. So how do you identify who they are? The technology is reverse IP based de-anonymization. At a very simple level, every account, let's say I'm coming in from Factors.ai or anyone coming from Freshworks and other thing, there are static IPs from which you actually send your emails, browse, etc. Using these static IPs over a period of time, companies, there are very specific companies which build databases in their backend, and they also add more private databases over a period of time, and a lot more intelligence over a period of time for them to identify which accounts where people come from at a very, very simple level. So if there are 100 visitors, if I run those 100 visitors IP addresses on these IP databases, I'd be able to identify which accounts they come from. It won't be super accurate. It won't be 100% match rate, but there is a significant, anywhere from 35-40% to all the way up to 65-70% kind of accuracy you would be able to get in terms of which accounts they come from. Once you get this data, you'll be then able to apply a lot more first-party data on top of it, which is website analytics and understanding like where they come from, what is their activity on their website, and other actions and this thing for you to figure out. I'll just take a pause here so that we can kind of explain this a little more, and then move forward into the next set of questions.
Yeah, for sure. And you explained that really well. And how important is this data for B2B marketers, or for B2B marketers to run marketing campaigns?
Plain and simple. As B2B marketers, every company, let's say you start with company Factors.ai, you will be saying that you target other B2B marketers, and you target only B2B companies and SaaS companies specifically, and the thing, which means you have a universe of list of accounts which you'd want to target. And in that, you'd say that, okay, I want to choose only companies which are more than $1 million revenue, and less than $100 million revenue. And US is the geography which I would want to target, and maybe India, I'll add one more geography, but US and India are the only primary geographies which you run this thing. So you put these constraints, and you'll have the universe of accounts which you would want to target for sure. And then you would have either a marketing or a sales motion. As simple as this thing, because marketing works very closely with the sales team to say that this is the SDR, this is the AE team, these are our must-have accounts or customer logos in our customer, in our product profile, and the thing that's they want. Separately, marketing will also say, if we want to attack these companies and convert them into customers, there is a marketing motion for it, and there is also a sales motion for it. Why I say this is important is, taking a step back, B2B account journey is not impulse-based buying journey. It's not like in Myntra, you just go look at the app, you find something which is very good, or like even Swiggy, where like it's something good, you buy immediately and move out. B2B is like very involved purchase. There is no impulse purchase there. It takes multiple stakeholders. It's not one single person buying. It's like buying by committee. So if I'm even hitting on, let's say I want to get Freshworks as a client, it would be just the marketing ops, one single person in the company. It will be the director of marketing, VP marketing, even at the CMO level, and it will also be the marketing analyst who will be looking at the product. So there'll be multiple people within a company. There'll be an influencer, there'll be an exec sponsor, there'll be a analyst, there'll be a person, finance team, everyone involved in actually taking that buying decision, which is also there. And the decision also takes a period of time for people to buy. It's like I start evaluating. So maybe somewhere in November, when they're making their annual plans for 2023, they'll decide like, okay, this is some tool which they want to buy, and then they'll keep a budget for it. And then from December onwards or in January, they'll start the evaluation. They'll make the purchase by March. So there is the whole buying journey right from October, November, all the way up to March, which would happen for any large scale B2B purchases, which are there. So keeping all these things in mind, hence it's very important to understand what is the buyer journey and what is the anonymous buyer journey also, which comes into the whole this thing. This is why when I'm having my website, when I have those 1 or 2 people signing up, these people who sign up have been evaluating my product almost 3 months back in the era, or it can be even 1 month back in the time and other the same. But people who are not signing up, but they are still evaluating, that information is of huge value to companies to find a way to accelerate their sales cycle. Which means, let's say if there are of the 100 accounts, apart from those who sign up, if there are at least 10 of them, if I'm finding them, I know which accounts they come from accurately. I know they are spending more than 1 minute on my website. And I also know if they are looking at my pricing page and my features page specifically, these 10 accounts are in the almost purchase decision time or buying purchasing. They would also be looking at your competitors. You would know which campaigns they come from. You would know which content they are reading. You would also know how much time they are spending. So giving this information, taking this information out and giving it back either into the SDR team or the sales team to go and reach out to them in the right way, or even putting it back into a LinkedIn ABM campaign or any other ABM campaign which you have, so that you can nurture them more faster into the buying process, has immense value in terms of accelerating your pipeline and also getting your more sales and the same. Rather than them leaving it up to themselves to generally evaluate and figure out, there are chances of the funnel breaking off. So fundamentally, all marketers are working from top of the funnel to the bottom of the funnel. If there are 100 people, how do I get 20 people to buy instead of just 15 people to buy? So that 5 is the delta. This kind of a website visitor identification or account de-anonymization kind of a product actually helps that in very, very clear way. That's the essence of why this is very, very important for any marketer, combined with other first-party data and part of any marketing process and flow. It's not something like you have a tool, it will automatically leave it. You have to keep it as a part of your whole process to actually, one, generate the right set of leads and also target the right set of accounts for your marketing and making the whole the same.
Yeah, sure. Like working for Leadfeeder, I know the importance of having a data set like this, but I'm not sure if everyone out there know or aware about this kind of a topic. So that's why I wanted to do this session with you. So I'm sure our audience are gonna benefit from this video. And one other question is, who ideally benefits the most from this website data in the marketing team? Like, is it the content team or is it the data team? Like, who's the ideal person to use this tool?
Okay. At a very, very simple level, directly, immediately, what would happen is at a company level, you know which accounts are showing interest on your website. This is basically, that's the basic thing. That is like you have this third-party data or a second-party identification data is what we call that is anonymous visitors. They haven't shown your signed up, but they are second party where you de-anonymize and you are able to show this. You know exactly who's your accounts, which you narrow down your search list to a much smaller level for you to do it. So as a company level, both sales and marketing fundamentally benefits. Coming more further into it, this data can be broken down into multiple parts. That is when you combine that with first party analytics. As a marketer, you run campaigns. You would have content from your team. Your team would be publishing a lot of content, at least 10 to 20 blogs on a monthly basis, depending on the maturity of the content team and other thing. Third, you would also be running events like webinars. You'd be inviting people for talk shows and other thing, or you'd be doing closed door events, or you'll be attending SaaSter and kind of events and other thing. That's field marketing, the third part, which comes in. And also the other one is that basically the close ABM list company, which is for nurturing and retargeting and other thing, which is there. So campaign at an overall level, organic and any other thing, content, events, and also this thing. This data benefits all 4. And I'll put it in the order of priority on which 4, where the immediacy of the need, which also comes in this thing. And how do you get this data? How you get this data is very, very simply like you have your own campaign data, which is there on your website, whether you're spending on Google, LinkedIn, Bing, search ads, and other thing. You have your website analytics tools, which is account-based website analytics. Either it will be something like a Factors.ai or a Google Analytics or something. You'll have the website analytics tool, which is very, very clearly there. Third is like you also have your CRM and marketing automation data, whether you're using HubSpot, Marketo, Pardot, and Salesforce/HubSpot as CRM. And this thing, you'll have all this data points also. These are all first-party data which is there. How you combine this third-party intent data, which is basically account visitor data, along with your first-party data, is where the fundamental use cases and the needs itself come in. So, for example, very, very simply, this anonymous visitor comes to your website. Let's say Factors.ai visits lead feeder website. You know someone from Factors.ai is visiting. But if I come in from a search campaign, let's say I do a website visitor identification, if I just search generally on Google and other thing, and if I come in, that is one level of high intent which shows directly to the marketing team. That is, this person, anonymous account, has come with a very, very search keyword, which is the bottom of the funnel search keyword, which comes in. This is something of immediate use case for me. Is like this campaign is working. How much of similar ICP accounts is this campaign getting me for me? So I'll be running 5 identification, can be website de-anonymization. It will be something like B2B lead generation. I run 3 of these campaigns. The first of them are in your ICP. Second campaign also gets 100 website visitors, of which only 20 are in your ICP. Third campaign gets 100 website visitors, of which maybe 35 are in the ICP, but they're also pretty large companies, or the buyer personas are different, or time spent on the website. Now you'll be automatically able to say which campaign is working, which campaign is not working. Because I would have to invest and focus on campaigns which are actually getting my ICP customers into the place. Because in B2B, as I said earlier, immediate sign up and this thing doesn't happen. So you are basically working on campaigns which work or don't work over a period of 3 months. Rather than knowing after 3 months that this set of campaigns don't bring any pipeline, only this campaign brings pipeline, you would know in advance within the first 1 or 2 weeks of running the campaign itself, like which campaign is working or which campaign is not working. That is of immediate direct use for marketers. One, to optimize their budgets. Second, to also know to fine tune how the campaigns work and other thing, and find other keywords or other intent keywords and other things to build it. So that's the first use case for marketers. Second use case, which is also coming, is the content marketing team. Every single company publishes a lot of content, and it's given that SEO and content is the way every organic search and other thing works, because instead of spending $25 per CPC click in US market, if you are getting organic clicks coming in, nothing like it. But a lot of content gets SEO optimized, and you publish 10 content pieces on a monthly basis, and each of those things get 1,000 clicks or 1,000 website visitors and impressions. Which of the ones are actually getting ICP clients or not? That's very, very important. Otherwise, you'll ending up making a lot of content at your site, but you wouldn't be evaluating whether this content is actually targeting the right ICP, speaking the language for the ICP. Do the people who come to my website seeing this kind of a content, do they actually spend time on that particular blog or not? And are they of the right buyer profile and customer profile, which is on, that becomes very, very important. So of the 10 customer profiles, if you see like these accounts or this set of anonymous accounts are reading this content, this set of content nobody reads, or only very few people read, or even the people who read are more like carrier seekers or something like that. It's not my ideal customer profile and other thing. Then it's very easy for you to decide like what kind of content you need to build. This is part of your content calendar. So rather than making any blogs and keeping a very clear calendar of like 20 blogs on a monthly basis without knowing exactly what works, if you know this set of content actually attracts my particular ICP profile, then you'd be able to build your content strategy around that and work around that in terms of keyword research, in terms of content subheadings, and also kind of whether it's long form, short form, how the work happens, what kind of images you put, etc., which is the standard content marketing part of it, which works. The third thing is, these two cases are very, very clear and simple and directly usable and other things. Third thing comes to the field marketing events which are there. This is where marketing works very, very closely with sales at the bottom of the funnel, because you have companies, you have certain set of buyers, and you want to attract these buyers into more accelerating the kind of sales journey, and you want to invite them into either some form of events, either meet them in closed room events, or you want to get them into webinars, you want to get them into kind of like dinners, or meet them in a particular thing. How do you attract them and who they are working with and other things? With this account de-anonymization, you exactly know which set of accounts are actually showing interest on your website. Let's say you send newsletters from your marketing site. There are hundreds of people visiting, but these set of accounts which are there in your high priority sales team account are actually coming and visiting your website. Now you have to nurture them and invite them into a webinar or a case study kind of a discussion or into other this thing. Field marketing team gets which list of accounts for them to go after. for this thing, so that they can actually plan their field marketing activity around these set of accounts. And this is far better than generally saying that I want these accounts to come and having this set of random emailers going through. They'll have a very specific set of emailer personalization and other messages going after them to actually cultivate them and nurture them through this thing. The last one is very simple, bottom of the funnel, which is directly saying that I know this accounts, my sales team is also reaching out. They are sending emails to. My marketing team is also there visiting my website. Now I'll put it into an ABM list on LinkedIn. I can do account level targeting at just that right person. Or I can even change it into same field marketing thing, like sending gifts to them, either using a Sendoso or a kind of Chokso Day and other thing. I can send specific gifts to them and this thing so that I can get them into a meeting and buying process. This is for like 100 to 50K ACV kind of accounts and other thing for you to process and other thing. That's also happens. So at multiple levels, right from immediate value of knowing who's visiting and how do I reach out, to putting your ABM list, to identifying which campaign works, which content works, how do you run your field marketing strategy, etc. It has immediate use cases for marketing teams in these ways.
Amazing. And I also want to touch upon the retargeting campaigns use case that you spoke about. Can you explain more about that?
Yeah. Retargeting is also very closely into marketing. That is like you are, instead of there is customer cohorts you build. So there is very simple retargeting, like you have the LinkedIn ad pixel. You would also have the Google Analytics pixel for you to generate cohorts of which users are coming to your website. And that will retargeting campaign also back into yours, and you put the audiences. Instead of doing just like that, if you identify which IPs, which accounts are coming, rather than generally going after 1,000 visitors, I can go after maybe 100 accounts which are actually the right ones which for me, and also whittle that down into an account scoring model. That is, people who visit from my website, either spending more than a couple of minutes on the website, or coming from a particular search campaign or a high intent campaign, or spending time on a blog or a pricing page or something. I would just want to retarget them very, very clearly, because fundamentally we are looking at an OR kind of a problem, right? I want to optimize my resources. Instead of targeting 1,000 G-click IDs, can I target 150 G-click IDs very, very well, where I'll be willing to spend $50 itself per click, so that I can outbid every single of my competitor, rather than spending on 1,000 G-click IDs and spending $25 per click, where the cost would this thing. Let me do a very focused $50 per this thing, so that I'll do my retargeting far better as well. Hence, both the hit to conversion ratio will also be better. That is, that number of qualified clicks you'll get for impressions will be far better. And the demo signups for the number of qualified clicks also will be far better than generally spreading it out on an overall level. So as a marketer, it's like, you have a spray and there'll be some wastage. How do I reduce the wastage to a very specific level and also have direct sniper hits for myself, so that I get my activation as soon as possible and get people down the funnel? Is the fundamental retargeting use case also in this specific way, to know like which small set of users which you do for your retargeting.
Yeah, thank you. And based on your experience being in this industry for quite a few years now, what are the type of companies that are leveraging this data? Like how this data is leveraged by different types of organizations? Can you talk about that?
Oh yeah, multiple levels and this thing, and also just like how ABM and B2B is a wide spectrum, right? There are companies which are just startups, first product market fit, early sales and other this thing, less than $1 million revenue, $1 to $5 million, 5 to 10, and then you have the bigger ones when they start getting into the Series C levels and other this thing. So at a very, very base level, I would say, since if you are building a B2B product, you start with the basic level of like building a list of what is your TAM. And once you have a list of your TAM, you'll start with your either a LinkedIn sales navigator, and you'll also have an outbound sales motion, starting with like you target certain set of accounts to bring them in. Right from that time, very basic startups start using this account de-anonymization products. Either they use something like a lead feeder or Albacross or Zoom Info websites, or there is Versium, there is kind of Clearbit Reveal and other thing. But I think they start with some of the base level tools very, very clearly to just do website visitor identification. I just want to know who are the visitors who are coming to my website. I might have only 100 visitors on my website on a daily basis because I have only 2,000 to 3,000 website visitors. Of this 100, I can manually go and see who are visiting my website. This is the first level companies which start using them at a very basic. They wouldn't even have marketing campaigns at them. All they'll do is identify which website visitors, they'll download it in Excel, mark which are the ones which sound good, give it to the sales SDR, AE, or the founder who's there, ask him to reach out either over LinkedIn or any other thing, and that's a basic level thing. That's a sales level thing which happens. Once they cross $1 million ARR, which is when they have product market fit, they're also spending close to 200, 250K on ads and campaigns and other thing. first level, they wouldn't use much on ads and campaigns immediately because they'll just want to spend, they want to see how people are coming in. But immediately after the first couple of months from broad keywords in terms of phrase match, in terms of exact match keywords, they identify what works, what doesn't work, and other things. Then to optimize to the next level, they start using these set of tools, whether it's just like lead feeder and similar tools which are there in the market and this thing, to immediately start identifying which campaigns are working, which campaigns are not working. And this is fundamental, and more so in this time, because now you are in an era of trying to optimize your budgets also, because there is a clear finance and CEO level oversight on marketing spends, because they don't want to cut down marketing spends, but they want to make sure it's as effective as possible, which is where tools like us come. And more importantly, account deanonymization also comes to know that which campaigns are working, which campaigns are not working much earlier in the cycle rather than knowing it after 3 months, seeing the pipeline impact. So that's the second level tools which they start using, and other things. Once companies become more than $5 to $10 million, then they start bringing ABM tools into their products. While they start spending only ABM tools, is not like you don't buy ABM tech to start doing ABM. ABM you start from right from the first time, day zero itself. But as you evolve as a company, which is when you would have a kind of, you currently spending on Google search ads, you are also spending on your LinkedIn and other things. You have a proper sales and marketing team. That is, you have a marketing team, content, and you have a demand generation team, and you have events team, while you'll also have a sales team with the SDR, BDRs, and you'll have an AE and other thing. Once this process is set, they'll actually bring in more tooling in terms of a 6sense or a demand base or a kind of any of the roller works and other set of tools, depending on their scale of their aspirations, to actually target these same set of users at a higher top of the funnel level, middle of the funnel level, bottom of the funnel. They want to see how accounts are progressing over a period of time. And there they want to do specific targeting and specific messaging and personalization at a website level, even an ad content level, case study level, and other thing. That's when the same data is used at a more complex level, integrated into the workflow in multiple levels. So very simply, at a very base level, you just use basic website visitor identification just directly given to them. Second level, just to optimize campaigns. Third level, this integrated with multiple other tools. That's where CRM orchestration, double syncing from CRM data point, how to actually then take this data back into your Google ads or LinkedIn ads, or let's say even your Captera or a G2 crowd data, and higher level intent data, Bambora kind of intent data, along with this website visitor identification. Those things come at a higher stage level. So this is how I split the maturity curve. You start with the very base level, any anonymization. As you progress in your ABM, you go up the maturity curve. That's fair.
Amazing. I'm learning so much from this conversation, and I have one last question before I let you go. But before that, I want to ask, why should people use Factors.ai?
So Factors.ai comes in the same place as, it's a complete event stream analytics product made for B2B marketers and sales teams. So fundamentally, we bring the entire account journey from top of the funnel all the way up to the bottom of the funnel. So we integrate not just with, we are a first-party analytics tool that is like a complete B2B website analytics tool, unlike Google Analytics. So we don't have any kind of ad blocker issues. We don't have cookie blocking issues. We no sampling issues. We capture every single user activity which happens on the website. So we integrate with your other marketing automation tools. We also integrate with your CRM, and we also integrate with your campaign spend. So campaign cost all the way up to website marketing automation CRM. We are able to integrate all this data, stitch this together at an account and user level to show the complete path. What we also do is integrate with tools like website account deanonymization and G2 crowd and second party intent. G2 crowd is a second party intent. And then you also have intent data providers like Bambora and others, because these are also event stream data, and we are able to integrate that with our event stream analytics tool and give you real-time alerts and action items, which is there. That's where Factors.ai becomes very, very useful. Just taking a step back for people to understand levels of data, your website and your CRM data is your zero data or first-party data, which is there. Second level data is people who are anonymous but coming into your website, which is what you call a second-party anonymization data, or you can call it as a first-party website visitor identification data, which is given by the likes of Clearbit Reveal and Lead Feeder and others and all. Third level is knowing the data from G2 crowd or Captera and Trust Radius, which is like people who are either evaluating you with competitors and your customer reviews, which is review site data, or people are looking at competitors in all these review sites, because they're also more deeper down the purchase funnel. This thing, they are having intent to buy another thing. Then this level above that is third-party intent data, which comes from a Bambora or a LeadSwift and other companies, which is people who are browsing on these topics, these set of keywords, who are reading publications on these things, which is broadly trying to understand what it is, and then coming down into the search funnel. So this funnel end-to-end is what Factors.ai automatically visualizes and reveals, and also shows where there are inflection points and where there are no inflection points. So Factors.ai basically is like kind of a X-ray scanner or the full imaging of your entire buyer journey, right from influence and just searching for with an intent to all the way up to becoming a customer at the CRM level. We see the entire journey. You can do funnels, you can bring cohorts from the same thing, and you can also find, with our AI, you find inflection points of what works versus what doesn't work automatically, so that you can activate your marketing in the right sense, so that you get ROI from your marketing rather than kind of fixing and reduce your marketing leakage is where we come in, and that's what our product does. So that's where.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. And one last question. So where can people learn more about this topic, website visitor identification?
Oh, Sanjana, one, of course, you guys have a huge amount of data point and lead feeder website itself, so that's no doubt about it. And there are quite a few. I mean, you search on website visitor identification, you search, there are multiple case studies from companies. There is also like you would have ebooks and even review items from quite a few companies. This is a pretty old technology. The problem is like whether you invest in it and not invest in it, and how you get value out of it in terms of like, instead of boiling the ocean, how do you focus on certain small set of accounts? At the very basic level, like, do you want your sales team to write 100 emails and then keep writing 100 more sequences and other things? Or do you want them to just focus on 20, 30 of them so that they can convert 5 customers instead of 2 customers per month? Do you want your marketing team very, very specifically to run specific LinkedIn targeting campaigns, retargeting campaigns, or Google search campaigns and other things, rather than running on every single keyword which they think would work and other thing, and wasting a lot of money? And this is significant amount of money. I know companies which have spent 200, 300K without knowing exactly where things are going, and then they had to pull back. And that's the kind of money, especially in this scenario, which will actually save at least 20 to 30 jobs on a yearly basis, which is there. And that's another significantly this thing. But far more important for CEOs, actually, because marks that are CROs and things, CEOs and boards and investors for any companies to look at, how do you accelerate your revenue in these times? How do you make sure your revenue grows up? How do you cross-sell better? For example, a company like Freshworks would look at this data, like, while at least he is a Freshchat customer, he's looking at it. A Freshchat customer is looking at my Freshdesk product or CRM product. Now I can upsell. So at the scale of the companies, it becomes far better. Like, how do you improve your NRR? How do you improve your kind of your overall cross-sell ability? How do you improve your funnel at multiple different levels? And how do you even run your campaigns better and this thing? So it's like opportunity is immense. And this is something which is a must learn for most B2B marketers as they start building their ABM marketing journey and other this thing. And more importantly, important from a company and CEO level as well. So that's where I would say. And there is enough online resources, right, starting from lead feeder onwards.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Shri. That's the end of the conversation. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I absolutely loved your energy and enthusiasm throughout the conversation. And I will give your LinkedIn profile in the description so people can connect with you later if they want to learn more about what we discussed today. I will also share the link to Factors.ai so they can check out the product. So yeah, that's it. It was nice talking to you, Shri. Thank you, and talk to you again.
Thanks a lot, Sanjana, for giving me this opportunity to present and this thing. I am always a learner and also happy to share all my learnings and my mistakes in B2B marketing with anyone who would want to. Thanks.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you, Shri.
Thanks a lot, Sanjana. Bye.